This is what's going to happen in America. It's a bad idea. I mean, it sounds great. You know, oh, these poor people who are sick, or these poor people who have cancer, these poor people, and they can't get insurance. Well, it's because there's a reason for that. And there's I would argue there's a better way of insuring those people than creating the moral hazard that we've created with these pre-existing condition clauses. So, I mean, there are some good ideas. There are a lot of bad ideas that are put in this bill, and it will drive up rates because a lot of you young people are going to decide not to buy insurance, who otherwise maybe would buy insurance if you had pre-existing condition clauses. And as a result, less healthy people in the pool mean if the pool of people who are insured are less healthy, then what happens? Well, the cost of insurance goes up. Right? You have less people paying who don't use it, and more people in the pool who do use it. That means the cost overall goes up. Well, there are a lot of big pitfalls in this bill. Number one is how much spending there is. This bill will cost, in the first 10 years, it's estimated roughly about $1.1 trillion. And here's what Barack Obama has said, that this spending of $1.1 trillion will result in less spending on health care. Now, most people look at that and say, how does that make any sense whatsoever? That we're going to spend $1 trillion more and it's going to save money in health care. It will not. Eyeglasses, braces. I mean, I don't know whether they're actually included in this or not, but those are the kinds of things that states do mandate that insurance is covered. Well, you can do that. If you don't have any kids and you're not having any braces, you're going to pay for some other kid's braces. Why? Because you're in the insurance pool. And those are the kinds of things that we believe, conservatives believe, that you should be able to go out and contract for the insurance policy that you want and you want to pay for, with the benefits that are going to suit you. And you know, if you're forced to pay for everything else, then you're just going to you're paying to subsidize somebody else's insurance care, somebody else's health care. And we'll have to make cuts in programs. This is what's going on in you know, Greece right now and in Spain because they've created this welfare state. The other piece of this that is not discussed is that we are moving toward European socialism. We are moving toward a European welfare state. This is by far the biggest step since Medicare that we have come to do this. And it will, Democrats are convinced it will be popular. Why? Because it's popular in those countries. Because over time people get used to being taken care of and having everything cradle to grave coverage on everything. You don't have to worry about it. And by the way, you don't have to work very hard. And if you look at the hours worked in Europe versus the hours worked in this country, there's no comparison. Why work? Well, the government will pay you whether you work or not. And so you have a small productive class of people who have the values of trying to get ahead and provide, who end up paying for everybody else. Here's what does disappear, though, and has disappeared across the continent of Europe, and that's the military. None of these countries have any military to speak of. Why? Because they can't afford it. We spend $650 billion a year on the military. I guarantee you, you're going to hear in the next year or so that we've got to dramatically cut the military because we have to, because these budgets are out of control, and so we can't afford to be the policeman of the world. You're hearing that already. You can't afford to have all these deployments. America has to change in its role. The Chinese and the Russians are sitting there licking their chops, saying, yes, that's right. You go ahead and retreat. You go ahead and not participate. You go ahead and defund your military. And we will now become the policeman of the world. We will become the world power. This is exactly what the left would like to see, because they don't like America as a world power. They see America as this oppressive, imperialistic country that is trying to impose their system of democratic capitalism on the world, which the left is vehemently against. And so you have this self-fulfilling prophecy that comes with the dramatic expansion of the welfare state, which is the other part of the liberal panacea, which is getting rid of the military, happens as a result.